Hey, it's Jenny Layton, and I officially want to welcome you to the Life Organized program. I am so excited that you're here. And if you are ready to reduce the clutter in your life, if you are ready to have some systems to help you maintain order, if you want to look around your home and love it, if you even want to wake up in the morning and be excited about the life that you're waking up to, then you are definitely in the right place, because that is what we are going to create in the Life Organized program. So I just wanted to tell you how much I can't wait to get started, how happy I am that you're a part of it. And today I want to do three things. I want to give you an overview of the program so you know what to expect. I want to set you up for success by giving you some success tips. And then I want to help you get your mindset right so that we're looking at this the right way and we're entering in with the right energy so that you can make this successful. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at what this program is going to look like. So in the Life Organized program, it's formatted for 6 weeks. And each week you will get a weekly training, a weekly coaching session, and a bonus training session. So here's how this will break down. The most important of all of those is the weekly training session. This is where you're going to get the tools. You'll know what it is that you're supposed to be working on during the week. So make that your top priority and schedule that sometime in the beginning of the week. We'll talk about that in just a minute. The second most important piece is the coaching session, because as you know, your mind is the gate key to all success that you want to create. So the coaching session will help you troubleshoot through things and help you really be able to implement these things so you'll know how to do these different activities and challenges that we're giving you. The third part then is the bonus training, and this is if you want to up-level your results, if you feel like you're needing a little bit more, if you're just curious about what the next step looks like. So I definitely recommend you check those out, but you might want to save some of those until you repeat the program another time on your own. Okay, so that is what the program is going to look like. And of course, I've got it stuffed full of bonuses and tips and things to help you in every area that might come up for you. But the next thing I want to talk about is success strategies. How can we help you be successful in this program? If you've gone through boot camp, then some of this will be familiar, because what works in boot camp also works in Life Organized. So we definitely want to take some of the same approaches, starting with a regular time to do your training, your coaching, and your bonus sessions. So first off, because the training is so important and because there is such an advantage to listening to the training at the beginning of the week, then I would suggest you look at a time around Sunday or Monday, something you regularly do, and habit hook or attach this new habit of watching the training to something you're already doing at the beginning of the week. Same thing with a coaching session and with a bonus training, but you can stagger those out through the week just a little bit if you need to. So having a regular time is the very first success tip. Okay, the second one, like in boot camp, the Facebook group. You guys, I've had people want to solo it through boot camp, and they've had some great success. But by far, the most enthusiasm and the best results we see are from people that also participate in the Facebook group. Why is that? Because being in a community and having that support is really what gives us what we need to be able to, that extra little nudge to be successful, or to not procrastinate, or sometimes just that thing that you needed to hear was that comment or that like that you got, or the response that you got. So make sure that you sign into the Facebook group. And, if Facebook isn't your thing, or sometimes you feel a little overwhelmed by all the action that's going on in the group, just remember to look at Facebook group like a buffet, or even like a potluck, right? So think of a party when you're bringing a potluck dish and everybody's bringing something that they love. There's no obligation to put everything that's at the barbecue or at the potluck or at the buffet on your plate. You pick and choose what looks good to you. And you can do that with posts as well. You can browse through them, comment on one, or, watch a video, whatever looks good to you, but don't feel obligated to do everything. And then just, as with a potluck, leave a little comment or maybe post something once in a while. But it's really great to get engaged on the Facebook group. So hop on there if you haven't already. Okay, the third thing, and this is a big one, is your commitment level to this program. Okay, I'm asking for 6 weeks. If you give me 6 weeks, I will give you your life back. I will give you some of those pieces that have been missing for a long time, and it will be worth every single second. 6 weeks might seem like a long time, but it is going to fly by. So as much as you can, prioritize this program, give your space the time, you give yourself the time, the space, the patience to go through this and really give it a good shot. As you know, and we'll talk about in the coaching in just a minute, done is better than perfect. We're not looking for perfectionism, but we are looking for commitment. And I promise you, as you give me 100%, I am giving it right back to you. I am invested in your success. So commitment is a really big one. Okay, the fourth tip is to follow along as closely as your circumstances will allow. Okay, so because I know that the brain likes it so much when there's no guesswork, it likes everything spelled out, I've tried to make things really specific and the actions and the steps really particular so that you don't have to figure much out. So that works for a majority of people, but if it stops working for you, then it is your privilege to go ahead and pace yourself through this program. So if you need to modify the challenge that I'm giving you in the week, that is perfect. If you are really interested in organizing a specific area of your life and we're ready to move on, it's okay to hold back a few weeks. Stay in the week that you're interested in, make some of that progress, and then jump back in and finish the rest of the program. The most important thing is getting you to the finish line. It's not the amount of time that it takes. Although I will say that there is a lot of advantage to sticking with the group. So I want to address this very quickly, and that is the idea of if you start to get overwhelmed and feel like you're falling behind. Now, the coaching is going to come in play, so I'm going to save some of that for just a minute when we talk about some of the key coaching concepts. But what I will say is anything that you need to change, anytime you have something different you want to do in your life, it will feel challenging. It's something you haven't necessarily done before, and your mind might start to freak out a little bit. That's what we typically call overwhelm. So overwhelm is okay because as you've heard before, if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. So we do want to be a little bit challenged, but we want to keep it within reason. So just notice if you start to feel a little challenged, if you start to feel a little overwhelmed, or when you do, recognize this is part of the growth process, and then pay attention to the coaching principles that I'm giving because they will teach you how to take a step back and just scale to where the right place is for you, and I know you can do it. So staying with the group is always a great thing, but know that this program is flexible, it's dynamic, and because we have such different lives, some of us work, some of us have little kids, some of us have a lot of time, some of us don't have very much. You have to accommodate this to your life circumstance. The big plan is that wherever you're at on the spectrum of getting organized, we're just going to move you a little bit more in the right direction so that you're seeing some progress and some results. Okay, the fifth tip is to gather in the recommended supplies that you will be receiving. So you'll get a list of some things that will be really helpful for you as you go throughout this program. Sometimes all we need to get off track is a little thing like, oh, I don't have the supply that I needed, and then you fall off the wagon and you don't get it done. So where there are some things that I can see will be really helpful as we go throughout the program, I'm going to let you know what those are. These things are things you can just order right online. They can arrive at your doorstep for the most part, so you can be prepared and have the things you need. They're not too many, they're not too expensive, but just take a look at that list and decide if those are things that you want to have on hand. And then the next tip on that same note is to have all of the documents, handouts printed out so that they're ready to go. I recommend getting a binder specific to Life Organized, printing out all those documents, keeping them in there, and then each week when you are ready to go to the next coaching session, the next training, you will have any notes that are relevant right there ready for you, so there's not another step, because again, sometimes just that extra little step can be the thing that makes you not move on. So it's nice to have those printed out and ready to go. One note on the coaching sessions, occasionally there is a working session, and I will indicate that at the beginning of the training or the coaching session. So some coaching sessions are listened to, take notes, they'll be really helpful. Other sessions will ask you to start to think about some things and to write them down. And if you're like me, I like to get things done and be really efficient. And sometimes I think I can just think through that, it'll be fine. But what I've learned is that I really don't know what I think until I write it down and see it on a piece of paper. And what I've discovered is that there are some real gems that come out when I do that writing that I otherwise wouldn't have found. And those are the little things that, get me off track and are ultimately the thing that makes me not finish a program or be successful. So where it's recommended that you do some writing, humor me, give it a try. Let's see how it goes. And if it is a working session, as I do a coaching session, I'll let you know. You can either listen and then fill out that coaching worksheet a little later, or you can get where you can just have it right in front of you. And as I talk, you can pause the video, do some writing, then start and listen to the video again, or the training, the audio again, however you decide to do it. So just a little tip with those worksheets, great to have printed out at the beginning. Okay, Q&A is a really real thing. You're going to have some questions. There may be some thoughts of, I'm not doing this right, or what did she mean by that? And so there's a tab called Q&A, helpful hints. Check that out. A lot of questions that you have can be answered in that, and it's there for you so you can get those answers day and night. Of course, our team is always ready to help you out. We want to see you be successful, but that Q&A box really is there for you. Okay, finally, accountability is such a success principle. So I will be holding you accountable. The group will be holding you accountable, but there is nothing like someone real who is calling you and knows you by name and is really wondering if you did follow through with that goal that you set. So what I recommend is that you utilize some of the accountability resources within the program. There's a worksheet that will guide you through how you can help create an accountability group and questions you can ask each other, but reach out on the Facebook group and ask for people to be in an accountability group with you. I recommend 2 to 4 people, and it's okay to say, I'm looking for an accountability group of young moms or working, women that are working, or you could even say something like someone who wants to communicate through Marco Polo or email, or however it is you want to set it up. It's okay to ask for those kind of things. And I think you'll find yourself in an ideal group if you reach out. So definitely utilize each other, because you guys are your best resources in terms of getting these things done and having accountability. Okay, so those are my tips to be successful. And I really know you're going to rock this thing. But before we go, let's talk about some important mindset principles. All right, if you have already participated in boot camp, these are going to be familiar, but they are so fundamental that we always can benefit from hearing about them again and implementing them and letting the roots sink a little deeper so that we can live and embody them even more. And that is the idea of just take 10 and done is better than perfect. So there's this consistent foundation through all of my programs, because I know what the brain starts to do. It starts to freak out and get overwhelmed because we have this standard of perfection in our heads, that it has to look a certain way. And that if we're not having what we're doing up to a certain standard, then we might as well not be doing it at all. That is one of the fundamental thinking principles that we are breaking through in this program, because the truth is, done is better than perfect, because there's no such thing as perfect. It doesn't exist. And if that's what we're shooting for, we'll never hit it. We'll always be searching and feeling empty and inadequate. So done is better than perfect. Each week, as you go through these challenges and you think, I didn't do it all the way, I'm not asking for you to do it all the way. I'm asking for you to get it done. Whatever that means for you in your circumstance in that week, just get it done. Way better than perfect. And of course, the sister principle to this, because we're all so busy and time is such a commodity, is just take 10. Listen, we are playing by the rules of our brain when we just take 10. We're not overwhelming it. We're not asking for more than it can do. We are asking ourselves to do something in a time frame that the brain will allow. So as you're looking at some of these new strategies, as you're trying out something new, if you're not sure you can do it, just take 10, as in just take 10 minutes. That's all it takes to get you started. And the momentum from that can carry over into helping you create amazing results. So if you're going through the program and you're getting a little overwhelmed, as we've already talked about, I want you to remember, done is better than perfect, so just take 10. If you are going through this program and you are getting ambitious and you are on fire and you can't stop yourself, I just want you to remember, done is better than perfect, so pace yourself and just take 10 so you don't burn yourself out. These mindset tools are going to carry you through life, not just through organizing, but through life. So I hope that it's something you'll adopt, really take into your heart, because it really can help you live an effective and organized life. All right, that's what I've got for you today. I can't wait. I can't wait. It's going to be amazing. And all I can say is get ready for some magic. I mean, truly, the reason we get organized is not just so things look pretty. It's so that we can be free, free from clutter, free from chaos, and free to live a life you love. I want you to love your life. And we are laying a foundation for that right here and right now. So wherever you're at in loving your life, that spectrum, however you are living it, we are going to up level so that you are happy and joyful and grateful for what it is that you get to do each day. And believe it or not, being organized has a lot to do with it. Okay, we're going to start hanging out soon. Get ready, get set. It's going to be an amazing ride. Have a great day, and we'll get started real soon.